So tonight, we gather to honor nominees for this year's Awards of Excellence. Of the 4,600 teachers in AISD, 59 were nominated this year. Will this year's nominees please stand and remain standing? If you are a nominee this year, these teachers demonstrate exceptional and creative approaches that enhance learning in AISD classrooms on a daily basis. And I can tell you that, and they will tell you the same. For these 59, there are 59 more and more and more who are just as outstanding. And we are congratulating all of the AISD teachers tonight. Teachers have the power to change the lives of students. We all know that. Each of us right now, if we were asked, could you name a favorite teacher? Everybody could. Who else in your life has that effect? How often do we hear a speaker recall a teacher who made a difference, who believed in their abilities and set them on the path to success? The future depends on these teachers who motivate students to do their best in the classroom and out of the classroom. Today, classroom teachers are asked to do more than ever, and we thank you all so much for your dedication and commitment to our kids. You know, last week, and this is just not in Gina's script, but I just thought of it. This is not a good thing when I do this. There was a thing that I saw, I don't know if I saw it online or television or what last week, but there was a story of a local teacher who was about to have a baby, and she was in labor, and I'm sure some of you saw it. And there was a picture of her in her hospital bed in labor, and she was giving notes, and they made a really big deal out of the fact that she was writing her lesson plans for her sub. And when I heard that, that's commendable, but I thought, that isn't news. People do that every day. I mean, don't you? I mean, really, teachers, you know, you could be in labor, you could be sick, you could be lying on the floor with vertigo, whatever, but in a teacher's mind, that kid comes first, and you know, how many of you have ever left a classroom to a sub and thought, oh my gosh, this is just not going to go well, this is not going to go right, and this one's not going to speak up because he won't know the sub, and so forth and so on. So although that was a darling story and very commendable for that teacher, I still think that's not news. It's just a daily happening in the life of a teacher. All right, you guys, if you haven't been seated already, I'm sorry, I just droned on and on. Each nominee tonight was nominated by a student, parent, peer, or administrator. Each nominee was observed by members of our selection committee, who ultimately chose a winner and a runner-up in each category. All of the work of the Aware Foundation, as we've mentioned to you, is performed by volunteers. One of those people who has worked tirelessly in all areas of the work of the Aware Board and has served as our Vice President of Events, seeing to every detail for the last several years, is Ouida Garner. Ouida Garner, where are you? Ouida Garner is not going to want to come up here. Ouida taught for many years at Bailey Junior High, and Ouida is a past Aware Award winner from 1995, long ago, Ouida. Ouida has a unique connection to Aware. When one of our founders, Ron Howell, was a student teacher in her Abilene High School, Ouida was one of Ron's students. Then, continuing the chain, one of Ouida's students, Katie Wells, where are you? I saw you somewhere. Katie. So, Katie Wells went on to become a teacher herself, and she was an Aware winner in 2009. So for her willingness to work on absolutely everything for Aware Foundation, and obviously for Ouida's wonderful outreach in the Arlington ISD education community, join me in thanking Ouida Garner.
I told Mike O'Donnell, I said, she's not going to want to come. You're going to have to bring her down. But we do. We love you, Ouida. One thing that I have to tell you as board members, we have the great pleasure of seeing the reaction of people who have never attended the banquet before as they watch it all unfold. We've heard more than once. In fact, we hear it every year, and we hear it quite a few times. I had no idea there was something like AWARE here in Arlington. Well, we want to change that. And so members of the board have been busy this past year creating ways to let more people know who we are and what we do so we can tell them about our Arlington teachers. As part of that effort, I'm delighted to tell you that, as you heard, the awarefoundation.com website has been completely redesigned and launched this past week. And you can actually get to it. It worked. We're also on Facebook. We've just started that, where we hope that you will follow us for news about the foundation. This year, we had the great excitement of having a professionally produced video. And tonight, you're here for its public premiere. So if anyone ever asks you, have you ever been to a premiere of a movie, you can say, yes, you have. And you walked a red carpet to come in, too. So here, without further ado.
Hello, I'm Jim Douglas. For more than 30 years, I've lived in Arlington, and during that time, I've been privileged to tell stories on television for TV news. Today, I'm honored to tell you a story about Arlington that a lot of people don't know. It's the story of a group that encourages teachers to bring energy, passion, and creativity to the classrooms of AISD. Teachers who motivate and foster a love of learning and achievement that go far beyond the classroom. This unique organization, the AWARE Foundation, rewards the efforts of outstanding teachers by giving them a cash prize for their personal use. Here are some of their personal stories.
I have a little note that was given to me by one of my students that I'd like to share with you. It's a cute little picture, and it says, Mrs. Willis, the best teacher ever. And that just melts your heart. It just makes it's just why I get up in the morning and why I want to give them my absolute best.
I try to make my classroom collaborative. I try to make create opportunities for my kids to cooperate and have a voice and choice. It's really making sure these kids fall in love with learning.
I try very hard to have a community of learners, a family feel to my classroom so that my kids respect one another and I show them respect, and my students are so good in my class and they stick up for one another and they share stories with the class because they feel comfortable and safe in there.
It's about me connecting with my kids in my classroom, and that's the power.
I was inspired by two amazing teachers. They instilled in me a love of music that I didn't know that I had at the time. And I try to do the same thing for my students every day.
It's fun, and I look forward to it, and I love, love, love seeing their faces when a light bulb goes off for them.
The AWARE Foundation is organized and run completely by community volunteers. It relies on individuals like you and me and on businesses for financial support. And every year there's great excitement and anticipation when the foundation rolls out the red carpet and nominees are treated to an elegant evening banquet where the winners are announced. And to think, it all started back in 1989 with an idea and a small group of Arlington citizens.
Our founder was Ron Howell. He and several other citizens in Arlington got together and established the AWARE Foundation, which he established standing for Arlington will award and recognize excellence in education.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, it's my very great pleasure to honor Liz Ann Peters for her years of devotion and dedication to the teachers and children of AISD.
Mom and several other people came up with this idea for the AWARE Foundation to give them financial awards that they could do anything they wanted to with them.
Teachers are nominated by their students, parents of students, colleagues, family members, and then they are observed in their classrooms by selection team members. The AWARE Foundation is the 501c3 foundation, so all of our funding is from donations.
Whether it's $10 or $25 or $100 or more, every dollar that we get in counts. Our focus is really making a concerted effort to know that we value every teacher in the Arlington Independent School District.
These individuals demonstrate exceptional and creative approaches that enhance learning in AISD every single day.
It's beautiful, the setup is beautiful, listening to the past winners, their speeches are incredible, and you do feel very, very appreciated, very honored.
I was so humbled to think that somebody would honor my passion.
I think when you get nominated too, it lights a spark in you as well. And I remember turning around and seeing my mom, because she was sitting at the table right by us, and her eyes were filled with tears, and then I started getting teary-eyed, held it together, walked across the stage. As soon as I exited the stage to walk around, it was just like the waterworks.
I thought, you know what, we have so many amazing teachers, and you know, it was just an honor to be here, and my principal and his wife and my husband and my girls were there, and I thought, well, this is great, thank you for coming out and supporting me. But when my name was called, I sat there for a moment, and I really can't tell you that the evening was a blur. I thought, June Willis, did they say June Willis?
My husband and I went to the Texas Rangers spring training camp. We loved it. It's something that we've always wanted to go to, and we did it, and we had a blast.
I did not spend it on bills. I took my youngest son to Fredericksburg on a trip, and my oldest son and I went to Harry Potter World, and we spent mother-son vacations with both of them, and it was incredible. So I couldn't have done that without Aware, and we had memories and can't take it back. They still talk about those trips.
We went to Moody Gardens in Galveston with the kids for 7 days. It was a real blessing. It was a great opportunity. We had the Aware banquet dinner. It was great. I had friends. My school came out to support me.
I didn't go into teaching for the money, but financially supporting an award like this tells teachers that education is important, that what teachers do for children is important.
The Aware Foundation is really a demonstration of a community's love for education, for young people, for classroom teachers, for the excellence delivered every day in Arlington ISD. And we're fortunate and blessed in Arlington ISD to have Aware that has been consistent and been sustained over so many years, that is a renewed effort for our public education teachers in Arlington to be recognized and to be rewarded for their hard work and dedication.
Some of the most important people in Arlington are teachers. They are our future. They are training our kids to be great citizens here in our community. And Aware celebrates that teacher. It supports the teachers and makes them feel so special, because they are. And it's pretty amazing the long history that Aware has of helping teachers and let them know that they are important.
The Aware Foundation will continue to recognize and reward the best teachers in AISD for years to come. If you're passionate about great teaching in Arlington, visit the Aware Foundation online and see just how easy it is for you to help. I'm Jim Douglas. Thanks for watching.
The whole process was amazing.
I feel so appreciated and so honored by this award.
And I am so thankful that we have Aware in our Arlington area, that looking at teachers, and I just wish everybody could be a part of it, because it was just amazing.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that, and I was there for all the filming, and I still get choked up when I watch it. It's wonderful. We are indebted to Arlington's own Jim Douglas, who gave so freely of his advice and time. We are so pleased to have Jim and Julie here with us tonight. Jim, would you please stand so we can extend our thanks? Thank you.
The Aware Foundation has been so fortunate for our entire history to have the support of the University of Texas at Arlington. Every single banquet has been held in this room. We appreciate the members of the university staff who go above and beyond to make this banquet a special event. We are delighted tonight to have the new Dean of the UT Arlington College of Education, Dr. Teresa Tabor Doty, here with us tonight. Dr. Doty joined UTA as Dean of the College of Education on August 1st of 2016. She came to UTA from Purdue, where she was Associate Dean of Learning. Dr. Doty is a nationally recognized leader in special education, autism, and other developmental disabilities. She is a past president and the current executive director of the Council for Exceptional Children. Dr. Doty.
Good evening. I am so excited to be here. You know, this is the kind of event that, as a teacher, I just love. This is why I get excited about education, and how fortunate that they planned this event for this week. National Teacher Appreciation Week. That was great timing, whoever planned that. That was wonderful. You know, while I now serve as the Dean of the College of Education here at UTA, I began my professional career as a special ed teacher at a little rural high school in Florette, Alabama, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. And it was there that I began my professional journey, quickly realizing that having a love for my students and a passion for teaching were only the beginning. To really be successful, I needed to be adaptable, organized, creative, patient, a good listener, have a strong sense of humor, operate a ditto master machine without fail, and maintain a willingness to learn from my students and my colleagues. I remembered and followed the early advice from my former professors, and I'm sure some of you have heard these before as well. Make yourself invaluable wherever you work, volunteer for the duties everyone else dreads, bus duty, lunch duty, and be willing to take on activities beyond your own classroom. Beg, borrow, and steal anything you can get your hands on for your classroom, always important. And make sure that your two best friends in every school, the head custodian and the front office secretary. Those are the people to know and to befriend. Best pieces of advice I ever took. I love that tonight's event recognizes those teachers who do it all, and clearly this is a room full of teachers who do it all. And I want to thank each of you who have given back and been part of preparing the next generation of new teachers. We at UTA in teacher preparation programs really depend on your skills and your guidance, and it's because of your commitment to quality and mentoring that together we are able to ensure that new teachers entering the field are not just good, but outstanding and ready to meet the learning needs of our 21st century students. Their needs are much different than ours were. At UTA, we continually evaluate the effectiveness of our programs and make adjustments accordingly. Just this last year, we began an advisory council made up of mostly local teachers and a few administrators, and their feedback has been invaluable regarding how we are preparing this next generation of teachers, and it has really resulted in direct updates to our certification programs. In the coming years, our teacher education programs will include a strong focus on assessment, because we all know we have to be very skilled in that area, meeting the needs of diverse learners, including expertise in differentiated instruction, technology and information literacy, classroom management and positive behavior supports, and instruction on how to be a researcher and a reflective practitioner as a teacher. Our partnership with you is invaluable to ensuring that this next generation has those skills, and we are truly appreciative of the ongoing feedback that we receive from you, as well as the guidance and mentoring you provide our students. This Thursday here at UTA, we're going to do something really special. We're going to hold the inaugural teacher education pinning ceremony. It's not been done here before. The purpose of this ceremony will be to welcome these fresh new teachers to this honorable profession and to celebrate teaching. We want them to be proud they chose teaching or that teaching chose them. At this ceremony, these new teachers and all veteran teachers in attendance will be invited to stand and recite the Teacher's Creed. And this creed reflects their promise, as well as ours, as professional educators to our students and colleagues. And I wanted to share it with you because it's something that is incredibly meaningful, I think, to anyone who has stepped foot as a leader in a classroom. It goes, I am dedicated to ensuring that every child I teach receives a quality education. I will create a learning environment that encourages academic, social, and emotional achievement. I will hold high expectations for all students and myself. I will serve as a model who guides and honors my students. I will respect the hard-won gains of those educators in whose steps I walk, and will gladly share the very best practices with those who follow. I am a teacher. I change the world one student at a time. I can tell you it's one of those moments that really makes you proud when you see all these fresh young faces reciting that, and to know that you're one of those teachers who has also made that same commitment. Thank you for the work that you do every day and in playing an invaluable role in changing the world. The students of Arlington, Texas are absolutely fortunate to have you as their teachers, and I am delighted to be part of Arlington now as well. Thank you.
The work of the Aware Foundation enjoys outstanding support and cooperation from the personnel of Arlington ISD. We appreciate their commitment to us more than you know. It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Dr. Marcelo Cavazos, Superintendent of Arlington ISD. Dr. Cavazos came to Arlington in 1999 and was named superintendent in December 2012. Aware is proud to play a role in the strategic plan for success for our district by providing a way for an engaged community to recognize the essentialness of excellent classroom teachers. Aware is proud to provide opportunities for recognition and service in both of these areas. Please help me welcome the man who was named Superintendent of the Year by the Texas Association of School Boards, Dr. Marcelo Cavazos.
Well, thank you. And teachers and nominees and past award winners, congratulations. And thank you for your dedication every day in our classrooms. Our students are blessed to be in Arlington ISD. Our families are blessed to have you as the people that care for our students, that love our students, that educate our students, and inspire our students. And I say often that we have more opportunities in Arlington ISD than ever before. But those opportunities only become a reality with our classroom teachers. That's the only way students realize those opportunities is with your help and your shepherding as they go through our system from pre-K through 12. And your love that you demonstrate every day in the classroom is something that is appreciated across this community. You may not always feel it, but people love you. And even the worst days, like this testing week, that can be quite challenging, you know that every day you do the work, and many times without any recognition, that you do every single day, because that's what you do. You serve our students, and you serve them exceptionally well. And this testing week will pass, I hope, soon. I have a fourth grader, and since he woke up this morning, he says, "Why?" And I said, "It's too long of a story, just do your best." And I have an eighth grader who said, "I tried already, it doesn't work, so just do your best." But I'll tell you that you persevere. Any challenge, any change, you adapt. And you teach others how to adapt. And so from a sincere appreciation from our 63,000 students and all of our 8,000 employees, you represent the absolute best. And when we talk about a teacher academy that we've started in AISD and these new teachers that the deans talked about, the excellence is in here. You are a demonstration of what teaching is all about. And because you do the work you do, and I'll close with this because Spence told me to keep it short. Spence can tell anybody anything, apparently. He used to work for us, by the way. No, I'm kidding. That's a little joke. That's a little joke. But I will tell you that, in closing, that your work and the impact you have, not only today and this year, but for generations to come, is our best opportunity for peace in this world, is through an education. That education that you're a part of building in lives of young people is our best opportunity for peace and sustainable peace throughout the world. And so with that, no pressure, but continue to do a great job. All our students depend on you, so thank you so much.
So now, at this time, we get to take a look at all of these excellent nominees. Each nominee will be receiving a certificate of recognition for excellence in the classroom instruction, and they will also be receiving a copy of their nomination application and their letters of recommendation. This year, the Aware Foundation is happy to present each nominated teacher with $50, and each finalist will receive $100. So here are our nominees for 2017 in the pre-K through second grade category. Naisha Bettis Craddock from Moore Elementary, Laura Garcia from Cookin, Stephen Hayes from Bryant, Holly Hendrickson from Hale, Ashley Johnson from Hale, Melodine Levine from Peach Elementary, Kelly Kohler-Nellis from Farrell, Elizabeth Pallets from John, Lydia Pettis from Thornton, Connie Pierce, community-based pre-K, Veronica Puente Salinas from Johns, Judith Segnini from Adams, Roxana Sutherland from Butler, and Vanessa Williams from Sherrod. In the third and fourth grade category, Amy Bailey from Johns, Lorena Cardenas from Webb, Kristen Clark from Little, Stephanie Franklin from Moore, Armando Gomez from Johns, Linda Hall from Wimbish, Carolyn Harvey from Adams, Kathy Keju from Ashworth, Melanie Kennedy from Johns, Victoria Laughlin from Hale, Jennifer Neher from Barry, Christine Ortiz Hernandez from Hale, Cynthia Pettis from Thornton, Lucy Salmeron from Crouch, Evan Sanchez from Butler, Jennifer Short from Webb, Olga Suchel from Johns, Andrea Trowbridge from Bergen, Nikki Walls from Rankin, Kelly Whitehead from Sherrod. In the fifth and sixth grade category, Luther Cobby from Atherton, Stacy Farr from Duff, Carrie Foster from Key, Davy Frankowitz from Wimbish, Dr. Jennifer Hall from Barry, Pauline Medlin from Bergen, Sarah Rogers from Crouch, Nicole Shipley from Fitzgerald, Emily Smith from Morton, and Tracy Smith from Morton. In the junior high category, Angel Ambule from Shackelford, Shaniqua Bonilla from Owsley, James Casey Cagle from Young, Diane Harper from Young, Eric Hernandez from Bailey, Francis Mafi Mahmood from Owsley, Jacqueline McDaniel Ligon from Workman, Kayla Miller from Carter, Tiffany Seaberry from Carter, Starla Smith from Young, LaTanya Stewart Brooks from Nichols, and Kim Strong from Owsley. In the high school category, Micah Green from Arlington High, Kay Owens from Martin, and Dr. Jim Pettit from Lamar. Again, congratulations to all of these wonderful nominees. And we now come to the most exciting part of our program. Each year, we look forward to honoring our 5 winners of the previous year again and hearing their remarks. This year, in a new format, we will follow each of the 2016 winners with the announcement of the runner-up and winner of the Award of Excellence in that category for this year. I hope that's not confusing. The runner-up in each of the 5 categories will receive a check in the amount of $1,500. Each runner-up is also being presented with the Award of Excellence plaque and a letter of congratulations from Governor Greg Abbott. The winners tonight, the winners of our Award of Excellence in Teaching, will each receive a check for $3,000. They will also receive the Award of Excellence crystal plaque inscribed with his or her name and a letter of congratulations from Governor Greg Abbott. The school of each winning teacher will receive a plaque with the winning teacher's name for display, and there is a plaque at central office in the lobby that has brass plates engraved with the names of each winner, and that hangs, and we revise that every year. So now, we get to hear from the lovely lady that you saw in our video, June Willis from Barry, who was our Award of Excellence 2016 winner, pre-K through 2nd grade. June Willis.
Good evening. So after 300-something days, it's finally here. Feels pretty good to be here. I want to open with, first I wanted to sing, but I thought, yeah, better not. So, you're welcome. But let me open with 1 Corinthians 7:17. Only let each person lead the life that the Lord has assigned to him, into which God has called him. Our calling is not a choice out of many options, but rather an assignment. Colleagues, I'm not about to preach. That wasn't my vocation. But I am about to share my heart with you. We all agree that it has taken a village to raise a child in the past generations, yet, as we make strides to a more technology-advanced future and a more diverse worldview, we discover that raising children requires the input of all the community members. As we celebrate and acknowledge every accomplishment and every victory of our students, we also accept the challenge and the responsibility of progress and the process that yields the product. Sometimes the product is a great graduation from one step to the next. Sometimes the product is as small as a smile that acknowledges the success of having waited patiently with a hand up to answer a question. And sometimes we are most successful as educators, as parents, as community members when we birth the hunger for new experiences and information in young minds. When we are most successful, we lay the foundation for the confidence and tenacity to endeavor to which they do not know. When we are most successful, our testing is not so much a passing or a failing measurement of memorization, yet a reflection of mastery and the passport for growth and expansion, because each step informs the next. We are the molders of young minds. We are the teachers in every aspect of our lives. Whether by intent or observation, each one will indeed teach one. Therefore, some questions beg to be answered and asked before we stop to consider and ponder that which we put into our minds. Let us stop for a moment, or as long as it needs to be, to begin thinking about the mind. The mind has 5 aspects: will, memory, inspiration, creativity, and intellect. The strongest of the 5 aspects is the will. We condition the will of young minds to achieve and conquer when we establish an unyielding curiosity and authorize the quest of the mind to open new doors or create doors that previously did not exist. We are teachers at our best. Memory. Imagine a long corridor that stretches beyond vision. Along both sides of the corridor are file cabinets that are very high. Each experience, each interpretation of anything our senses can gather is stored within the files, within the folders, on the pages of these file cabinets. What we say, how we say it, when and why we say it is all recorded. Intellect is the more than mere acquisition of information. Intellect incorporates the appropriate application of information and data. Creativity is what allows us to organize or reconstruct information and data in ways that develop new users or different placement of which we already know. Creativity expands knowledge. Creativity is the reinforced steel mesh that provides the skeleton for real wisdom. And my favorite, inspiration. It is the exercise of our most precious spiritual resource, which is love. With God as our originating source of love, inspiration is a regeneration in support of that dynamic which is given to us all by a higher power than ourselves. And these 5 aspects of the mind work simultaneously to complete incomplete cooperation in order at all times. As teachers, we are trainers, organizers, instructors, builders, and keepers of young minds. We are immediately and remotely responsible for the input and export of what happens in our children's minds. Colleagues, I stand on this platform today. Please allow me to publicly acknowledge a few appointed angels in the community that assisted me in building a foundation for our future leaders. Mayor Jeff Williams, whom graciously accepted an invitation to read to my first graders. Mrs. Ross, who is present tonight, a retired principal, that gives her Monday mornings to listen to my enthusiastic readers. And then to one of Berry Elementary's former students that comes every Monday as if she's being paid to do it, Miss Peggy Martin. Just thank all of you. Thank you. Special thanks to the Aware Foundation and the generous sponsors who made me feel like, well, I brought some props with me. If you were wondering what that bag was about. As a first grade ESL teacher, I'm bringing in some of my resources. I want you to see, give you a visual of how I felt when my name was called last May. When my name was called last May, I felt like a queen. And when my name was called again to receive the summer use of the Lexus, well, I had my scepter. What a ride, what a ride. I teased my husband. I used to go to Lexus twice, 3 times a week to have that car washed and have cappuccino and warm cookies and study. It made my Rogue look like a truck. And then I want to also thank, which I think I dropped some of my props, but Del Frisco's, the dining there was just amazing. I really appreciate everything that was given. I just wish that, well, every teacher that's here, we just acknowledge you and for your hard work. Award money, I'll share what I did with it or what I'm doing. I am able to fly my mother, who's not able to have a long road trip, to my daughter's graduation from Abilene Christian University on Saturday. And then again, I could use the money and will to fly my family out to Nebraska in August when I receive my degree. So I thank you, because without you all, that would not have been possible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So now, in the pre-K through 2nd grade category, the runner-up. The Aware Foundation is pleased to announce the runner-up for the 2017 Aware Award of Excellence in the pre-K through 2nd grade category is Mrs. Veronica Salinas, 2nd grade bilingual teacher at Johns Elementary. Mrs. Salinas' students are successful because she gives them multiple opportunities to show what they know. She believes that every child can learn. It's just a matter of knowing your student, building on their strengths, and being their most vocal advocate. Mrs. Salinas says she must continue to strive to be a lifelong learner, and she must be willing to meet her students where they are and not simply where they should be. She also mentors student teachers from UTA and Sam Houston High School, and she is those at Sam Houston who are interested in pursuing a career in education. Mrs. Salinas' favorite quote is from Albert Einstein. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Join me in congratulating Veronica Salinas. And now, our pre-K through 2nd grade winner. The Aware Foundation is proud to announce the 2017 winner for pre-K through 2nd grade is Mrs. Ashley Johnson, first grade teacher at Glen Hale Elementary. Mrs. Johnson has been described as extremely organized and student-centered. She is always looking for better ways to execute instruction and present curriculum. Mrs. Johnson makes reading joyful, and she works with each student to reach his potential. She teaches her students to become independent problem solvers, and she helps them build their self-confidence. She helps them understand that with hard work and respect for themselves and for others, they can learn and achieve anything. Mrs. Johnson says the goals of an excellent classroom teacher are to instill a love of learning in every student, to remain positive when things get tough or challenging, and to make sure that each student feels safe and loved enough to take some risks. Congratulations to Mrs. Johnson. In the third and fourth grade category, the Award of Excellence 2016 winner was the late Belinda Garcia Bonner, a teacher at Johns Elementary. Belinda passed away in March of this year. Her family has asked Gina Williams to bring some remarks on her behalf.
Everyone associated with the Aware Foundation was saddened to hear of the loss of Belinda J. Garcia Bonner, our winner of the Aware Award of Excellence for 2016. While I know we all wish that it could be BJ delivering her speech and being here to receive the accolades she so richly deserved, we want to take a few minutes to celebrate the life of this truly amazing woman. On behalf of the entire board of directors and all our volunteers, Aware welcomes her family members who are here with us, her husband Keith, and her stepson Matthew, and of course her family from Johns Elementary. I think it is no exaggeration to say that anyone who came into contact with BJ remembered her, even if it was only a brief encounter. How could you not, with that incredible smile of hers? Everyone described BJ as a joyful person, and doesn't that show in the pictures of her with her students? As I read through the letters of recommendation and BJ's own words, it became so apparent how much she valued the profession of educator. Her friend Veronica shared with me how BJ had been encouraged to take the steps to lead her on the path to eventually becoming a principal. BJ chose to remain in the classroom and made the decision she would retire as a teacher because she thought that was the most important job she could have. Well, we at Aware agree. It was the most important job she could have, and we are so gratified to have had the opportunity to recognize the work of this phenomenal teacher. BJ loved teaching, and she never quit looking for ways to improve, to further develop her skills so she could be the most effective teacher possible. Belinda J. Garcia Bonner received her master's degree in curriculum and instruction from the University of Texas at Arlington, right here, just days after winning the Award of Excellence last May. BJ wrote, "Building relationships with my students is one of my strengths and sets the foundation for active learning and positive behavior." She believed that what made a teacher valuable was the extra effort a person was willing to take to help students come to believe that they could succeed, and then finding and filling what was needed to help them reach success. One of the highest compliments a teacher can receive is to have another educator say, She is exactly the kind of teacher I would hope for my own children. I know it won't be a surprise to you to know that's exactly what one of her peers wrote to us about BJ. Mrs. BJ was a teacher to many people who weren't a part of her second grade class. John's principal, Tammy Rogers, shared what an incredible example and mentor to her fellow teachers she was. To the UTA student teachers and to the students of the Sam Houston High School Ready, Set, Teach program. Like so many AWARE winners, BJ was involved in much of the life of her school. She was a member of the Family Involvement Team, the John Site-Based Decision-Making Committee. She was a bilingual ESL team leader, a Gaining English Mastery Skills teacher, a district-level bilingual presenter, and a summer school enrichment teacher. However, she believed it was the relationship she had with each and every child who entered her classroom that was most important. In her words, I've also observed that students need to know that we as educators care for them and are there to help them in any way we can. No doubt, every student taught by Mrs. BJ knew that. BJ never stopped being a teacher. She chose to live within her Johns Elementary neighborhood where students and parents saw Mrs. BJ every day. She never stopped teaching her former students who often came back to see her. And she thought it a compliment if a teacher brought a fifth or a sixth grader to her who, as BJ said, needed a pep talk. She didn't stop teaching the UTA education students who came back to her when they were teachers themselves for advice and guidance, and she never stopped teaching the Sam Houston students she had mentored through Ready, Set, Teach long after their high school graduation. The year that Mrs. BJ was first diagnosed with cancer, she didn't stop teaching. One of her peers commented how incredible it was to her that BJ hardly ever missed a day of school at John's or a class at UTA during her illness and treatment. I have a feeling that her family and closest friends would say she never stopped teaching at all. I've been told that being nominated by her peers and winning the AWARE Award meant the world to BJ. It validated her belief that the most important part of education was the classroom teacher. It recognized the work and dedication she brought to her chosen profession of teaching and recognized the contributions an AIS teacher makes to our state, our city, our schools, and to that child in their classroom. BJ said, to be a successful educator, you need to love teaching, and I really do. Maybe that is what put that beautiful smile on her face. Would you join me in recognizing this 2016 winner of the AWARE Award of Excellence and in celebrating the joyful life of this incredible woman, Belinda J. Garcia Bonner.
The 2017 third and fourth grade runner-up, Mrs. Kristen Clark, third grade teacher at Little Elementary. Mrs. Clark's classroom creativity is off the charts, as well as her enthusiasm for learning that is brought to her classroom every single day. Her students know they are loved and they are willing to take risks in this supportive environment that she has created. Mrs. Clark continues to incorporate the newest and the most innovative research-based ideas to foster student engagement. She fosters each student's creativity through teaching them to be self-discoverers. They learn to research real-world issues, and they develop solutions using different methods other than paper and pencil. A former student says, "She never gave up on me when everybody else did." She is a good human being who truly cares about children's well-being and future. Mrs. Kristen Clark. We all should be so lucky that a former student would call us a good human being, don't you think? That sort of boils it down right there, doesn't it? And the third and fourth grade winner for 2017, Mr. Evan Sanchez, third grade from Butler Elementary. Mr. Sanchez seamlessly incorporates music into every part of the classroom routine. He is modest about his musical talents, but the rhythm he has in his bones is evident in how he builds musicality into the content-based instruction in his class. He is a thinker, and he contemplates new ideas. He studies his art, and he lets the needs of his children guide his facilitation. He comes to school ready to take on whatever is thrown his way with passion, enthusiasm, and dedication. Mr. Sanchez says he finds strategies and interventions for the needs of all his students, and he knows this will be a driving force to lead his students to their maximum potential. Every day in Mr. Sanchez's classroom becomes an adventure of learning and growing, and that is the basis of being an excellent teacher. Congratulations to Mr. Sanchez. In the 5th and 6th grade category, the Award of Excellence winner in 2016 was Chris Gonzalez from Rankin Elementary.
Well, I made it up the steps. That was my big obstacle for tonight. Good evening, and thank you to the Aware Foundation and honored guests for having me here tonight. It's a great way to spend Teacher Appreciation Day, isn't it? I know that I feel very appreciated. The night's bringing back so many memories. Just like last year, Aware has gone to great lengths to make the night special for everyone attending. This is what I do imagine the Academy Awards would feel like, and they even said the red carpet. Everything started last year with a nomination by my principal, Mr. Raul Espinoza, my vice principal, Ms. Erica Prox, and the dean of education, I can't remember what it is, our dean, Roxana Sierra, when they told me that they were nominating me for Teacher of the Year. I felt very overwhelmed and a little bit intimidated. This past year, though, being one of the honored winners has been one gift to another. From the prize money, which we used to visit a brand new grandbaby in Ohio, to driving a new Lexus. Thank you, Sewell, that was fabulous. And being guests at a suite at the ballpark to watch the Rangers play. It's been one uplifting year for me, and it all started with that nomination, so I thank them, my administrators. My family and students have been so proud to tell everyone about me being a winner. For the past year, just about everyone my husband meets, he managed to slip it into conversation. He says, "Did you know my wife is the Aware winner? It happens at the grocery store." I'm not kidding. We go out to eat, even at Sonic. He just casually mentions, and they look at him like, okay. And then he goes on to tell them all about the wonderful things the Aware Foundation has done and how they treat teachers. I just want to mention, if Aware ever needs a spokesperson, my husband's retiring from teaching this year, and he'd be available. Seriously, though, thank you, Daniel, for always being my champion and the greatest partner a wife could ever hope for. I've spent my life teaching children, but I have to admit I was quite intimidating when Mr. Espinoza told me he had nominated me. I was so worried I wouldn't measure up to what they thought was worthy teacher. I think sometimes we get so caught up in what others will think about our teaching that we forget to just sit back and enjoy what we do, which is teaching children. That is what AWARE came to do, just come and be a part of my class and enjoy watching children learn. What was and is so wonderful about the AWARE Foundation is that is exactly what they're looking for, children enjoying learning and feeling loved. They weren't so concerned about the content or how many students were correctly answering questions, but they were in a classroom that had a teacher that truly honored the children of Arlington as they deserve to be honored. I want to say thank you to each of the ladies who came to observe. You came in to learn with us and joined in our lessons, and you made my students feel like they were simply the smartest and best kids they'd ever known. The feeling that you left with them stayed. They couldn't wait for another visitor to come. They just loved reading the loving notes that you all left, which were written from your heart. I could never thank you enough for those memories that you were able to give my kids. You saw them through the lens of your heart, and they just loved you for it. I've loved every minute of being a teacher, and for AWARE to honor me for just doing what I love is outstanding. Thank you for putting so much effort into making sure the teachers in Arlington feel honored and treasured. I want to close with a little thought from my grandmother. When I was younger and needed a safe place, I'd curl up next to her, and I'd tell her, "Grandma, I love you," and she'd always reply, "Oh, sweetie, my cup runneth over." I never knew at the time what she meant, but over the years, I've been blessed many times to have that feeling. And last year on my way home, I was in such a daze after winning, but one thought came to my mind: my cup runneth over. Thank you, AWARE, and I pray that you will always be able to honor teachers in the way that you do. God bless your foundation. Congratulations to all the nominees, and have a wonderful evening.
The runner-up in the 5th and 6th grade category for 2017 Award of Excellence is Mrs. Davy Frankowitz, 6th grade teacher at Wimbish Elementary. Mrs. Frankowitz believes a genuine compassion for a student's plight can lead to a strong relationship that fosters learning. She makes an effort to get to know her students personally so she can better understand the challenges that they face. She can be found after school at orchestra and band concerts, sporting events, and PTA meetings. Attending an event, sitting with parents, and sharing positive thoughts can completely change a troubled child's attitude. She challenges her students to continually raise the bar in expectations of their own academics. Great teachers never give up. She may have to try many strategies before finding what works, but she keeps looking and believing in the students until the goal is met. Mrs. Frankowitz. And the AWARE Foundation is proud to announce the winner of the 2017 Award of Excellence in the 5th and 6th grade category is Mrs. Pauline Medlin, music. Pauline is a music teacher at Bergen. Mrs. Medlin is one of those teachers who was born with a gift, not only to perform and sing, but to teach. One step in her classroom and you will feel moved literally. Her passion for music motivates students to do their best in the classroom. Mrs. Medlin exudes a love for music teaching and the kids. We are amazed when we walk into the classrooms, the engagement and the energy in the room. She has high expectations for her students, but she disciplines in a very positive, encouraging way. She sees each student as an individual, and she relentlessly works with them to help them rise to their potential. Her classroom motto is, "Make music, be kind." She says an excellent teacher inspires students to be brave, to try new things, and to take risks and grow. We want classrooms of students who will one day become phenomenal adults who give back to their worlds with kindness and love, and that is what Miss Medlin does every day. The aware winner in the junior high category from last year is Alicia Duvall from Carter Junior High.
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to know which camera am I supposed to be looking at, because I want to be in the movie next year. First, I want to thank God for this opportunity to stand before you, such a prestigious group of people. I would like to thank my husband, who for 23 long years has put up with me. And I love you, and I thank you, honey, for all your support. To my colleagues from Carter Junior High, my principal, to the AWARE team. I have nothing but, I don't know what to say. It's like a family reunion. Every observation, I connected, and we talk about things we're not supposed to talk about. We could, everything, every last one of them, I left feeling like I just met a friend and not someone who was there to nitpick and observe, but to get to know me. And for that team, I appreciate it so much. To all of the sponsors, I want to say thank you. Del Frisco's, my husband and I went, and ironically ran into a friend we hadn't seen in 15 years at Del Frisco. So they reunited us to a friend. Six Flags, I hate to report this, but my husband decided to clean up the house. Therefore, he threw away my tickets. And so if y'all want to donate me 2 more tickets, I would appreciate it. Sewell, Texas Rangers, I am elated with all your gifts. I felt like our first speaker, I felt like a queen, I really did. So, enough about me. This speech is for my recipient for this category. And to you, I have, because I'm a winner, everyone listens to me now for some reason. So, these are nuggets for you, so you'll know what to expect. Allow me to prepare you what happens. First, the paparazzi. Cameras and microphones will be thrown and thrusted into your face from every direction. People will run up to you for hugs and expression of love. You will not be able to shop in peace. You will hear the whispers. There she is, there he is. You'll hear it at Walmart, at Target. They don't know who you are. But be aware, stay humble, smile bright, and ride the wave. You will also become a subject matter expert on your campus. You will be sought after for all things teaching. Teachers from across the district, they will whisper your name and they will seek your guidance and your counsel, your opinion on everything, and you will become the face of your campus. But be aware, stay humble, smile bright, and ride the wave. Your home life will become easier. Those in your family will realize that you were always right. they will regret every time they didn't listen to you. But be aware, stay humble, smile bright, and ride the wave. So you will feel like you can conquer the world. With the $3,000 that I received, I invested in me. I started my master's degree with Concordia University online, and I'm halfway there. And to the recipient tonight, everything that people say about you, you will realize it's all true. But be aware, stay humble, smile bright, and ride.
And now, our 2017 junior high runner-up. We are pleased to announce that the award goes to LaTanya Stewart Brooks, 8th grade science teacher at Nichols Junior High. Mrs. Brooks' classroom brings science to life. She brings her knowledge and love of science to all her students. She says a teacher who goes above and beyond builds great relationships with both the students and the parents to ensure academic success. She has high expectations for all her students through hard work and a supportive environment. The world of science is often challenging and always demanding. She has achieved great success with her students. These students are excelling and they are proud of what they are learning through use of an interactive science notebook. In addition to being an outstanding 8th grade science teacher, Mrs. Stewart Brooks works as a fabulous mentor to many. She is committed to be the best teacher she can be, and she exemplifies daily that she is a lifelong learner. She believes teachers are there to cultivate minds of our future generations and to have a lasting impact on our students. Mrs. Stewart Brooks. And the winner in the junior high category of the Award of Excellence is Mr. Eric Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is a math teacher and a coach of boys athletics at Bailey Junior High. Mr. Hernandez loves math. He personalizes his lessons for each student based on individual goals. He relates his subject area to real-world issues. I'm an English teacher. Math doesn't relate to real-world issues. He is a stickler for accountability, and he pushes his students to do the right thing and to make good choices. He believes teaching does not stop in the classroom. An excellent teacher teaches more than just a content area. All students can learn, and his job is not to just teach math, but to teach perseverance, confidence, determination, and courage. He says, we are not defined by the grade we get in math, but by our contribution to society. Mr. Hernandez comes to work because he loves teaching and he loves seeing his kids every day. They, he says, are part of my family. He is a go-getter and he does not like to wait around for things to happen. He makes them happen. Mr. Hernandez. The 2016 winner in the high school category, Gordon Stevens from Lamar.
All right, good evening. First, I would like to thank my principal, Mr. Andrew Hagman, for nominating me for the AWARE Award. Like my daughter would say, I was clueless about what AWARE was. I figured if I won that I might get a nice certificate and a pat on the back. I did not know that money, a proclamation from Governor Abbott, and prizes came with this recognition. When the members started coming to school to observe me, at first I was nervous. As the committee members started to visit, I grew to enjoy the process. I remember the first time one of the members observed wrestling practice. I was so afraid that one of our kids was going to run them over. Luckily, everything ended well. One of my favorite things was the notes. My favorite comment was from Amy Cernal. It reads, quote, "Mr. Stevens, I was telling my husband after your class that I really felt like those students were ready for jobs at NASA. So impressed with the quality and methods of instruction. When I found out that I was a finalist for AWARE, I finally learned what AWARE had to offer. Talking to Jeannie Burt, our English department chair at Lamar, who had gone through the process, told me AWARE is like the Academy Awards of teaching. She then went into what the award was. At this point, I had really not taken the process too seriously. I was nervous for the interview, but appreciated the thoughtful questions that the committee asked. The night of the event, it was great to have my wife and my daughter with me. In my mind, I always try to play down my expectations, and when they were ready to announce the winner, I told myself, it's not me. Then they said my name. It took my breath away, and I remember my wife's reaction as she stood up to kiss me, and I walked to the stage to be recognized. While waiting to take pictures at the end, I was standing with Mr. Hagman on one side of the room, and my daughter and wife were on the other side. Mr. Hagman said, "Look how proud your daughter is of you right now." I looked over and saw the look in her face, and I could see her admiration. I did not realize what an impact this had had on her as well, and how she thought about her dad. The next day, Mr. Hagman announced to the whole school how he appreciated me as a teacher and about how I had won. I am so humbled by this recognition. I really enjoyed receiving the proclamation from Governor Abbott, the extras like the car loan, the box invitation to the Rangers game, the tickets to Six Flags, and the gift certificate to Del Frisco. With the money, I was able to split it up into thirds. My wife and I had just had one of those milestone anniversaries, and we had already planned a trip to Europe. We flew into Barcelona for a few days, then boarded a cruise ship and sailed to Italy and France, then back to Spain. Because of the AWARE Award, we were able to supplement our trip to go on excursions to see Pompeii, Sorrento, the Amalfi Coast, Rome, Florence, Pisa, and more. We had a great time, and we were able to make some great memories. The second third of the money I donated to my wrestling club. I started Fellowship of Christian Athletes Wrestling of Arlington, Texas a couple of years ago. We meet every Tuesday in the spring, and our mission is to provide an opportunity for young men and women to learn the sport of collegiate wrestling and to present the challenge and adventure of receiving Jesus Christ as Lord. With this donation, I was able to provide 2 scholarships to our seniors who had volunteered to help out with our younger kids. I was also able to purchase Action Bibles for each participant, an FCA wrestling shirt, and Gatorades for the kids to drink at the end of practice during our lesson about Jesus. Abby, who is a 3rd grader that wrestles for us, says that Tuesday is her favorite day. Stephen, John, Fernando, who are also in elementary school, participate in another wrestling club, but they say they prefer FCA because we have Gatorades. I believe that we are making a positive impact on these young men and women. The last third of this money I invested. I opened up an individual account with Scottrade and been using dollar cost averaging by contributing to this account monthly. I hope to use this money soon to purchase a pickup, and I'm about 80% of the way to my goal, and have seen an 11% return on my investment in just 1 year. My daughter is very excited about this as she will get my old pickup. Overall, this experience has re-energized me as a teacher. Thank you to all the board and committee members of the AWARE Foundation for taking the time to recognize our teachers. I'm so glad that you recognized me and that you are recognizing my colleagues who worked so hard. In closing, I'd like to leave you with the words of Paul in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Paul says, "Encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing." Thank you, and good night.
The Aware Foundation is pleased to announce the runner-up for the 2017 Award of Excellence in the high school category is Mrs. Kay Owens, choir director at Martin High School. Mrs. Owens, for 34 years, has passed on her love and knowledge of music to thousands of students in Mississippi and Texas. The number of students earning all state honors is in the hundreds. A tireless director and leader, she understands that success is gained through hard work and commitment. She can be found on the stage or in the choir room at all hours of the day. When a choir is having difficulty with a certain skill or idea, she develops new approaches and often incorporates movement to teach a musical idea or to help memorize a song. Mrs. Owens says music has the ability to change lives. She uses each day as an opportunity to challenge her students to channel their deepest feelings into every piece of music they perform. Teaching is about changing lives and making a difference. She feels loving students and being invested in the whole student is the most important characteristic of being a successful teacher. Mrs. Owens. And our last award of the evening, the Aware Award of Excellence for High School Teachers. The Foundation is proud to announce our winner for 2017 is Dr. Jim Pettit, Wood Technology Teacher at Lamar High School. Dr. Pettit has a doctorate in family counseling and a genuine love for the people of Lamar, which he shares readily. He serves as a moral compass and a safe harbor for the students and the staff. He establishes the delicate balance of structure and freedom to inspire students to give their best. He feels a teacher's character is very important. Students live in a world where they are bombarded by a lack of moral values. An excellent teacher models supportive and respectful relationships with teachers, staff, and students. Earning a student's respect is a prerequisite to being able to inspire a student. An excellent teacher is faithful, dependable, and honest. Dr. Pettit's love for his students can best be summed up by this statement: there is nothing he wouldn't do to help his students succeed. His wish is to see every student be successful, fulfilled, and happy. Please congratulate Dr. Pettit. I think you can see what we were talking about when we started the evening. This is a phenomenal evening of recognizing just simply incredible people in our classrooms. Arlington students, Dr. Cavazos, aren't they lucky? They are so lucky to have these people. Please congratulate them again. And now we come to the Lexus drawing. Our winners will receive a gift certificate for a package, and you've already heard about this. They love it. 3 of them will receive a gift certificate, dinner at Del Frisco's, and a Lexus or an Infiniti for the weekend, and 2 of our winners will drive a Lexus or an Infiniti all summer. So, or you can duke it out, however you want to do that, Tracy. So what is this? First one then? This is for the whole summer. For the whole summer. Okay, a Lexus for the entire summer. Oh my. Eric Hernandez. If Mr. Hernandez was cool before, he'll really be cool now, right? Okay.
And here's our second.
Okay. Second car for the summer to Pauline Medlin.
How much fun is this? So this car has 35 miles on it. Really? Isn't that crazy? I've never driven a car that has this few miles on it. This is insane. Sheesh. Don't cry. What do you think? I think this is the coolest thing ever. I've never had a brand new car, so what a treat to get to drive a brand new car all summer long. Hi. Thank you, Sewell. You're amazing.
Once again, we thank you for coming. We hope you'll visit our website. We hope you'll watch our video again and support the AWARE Foundation.